understand. I am recording myself tonight. We are posting this on our YouTube channel. So let me just turn this on. Okay. Just clap to make sure this lines up. So again, thank you all tonight for being here. I really appreciate it. When we started out, well, first off, I'll start off by saying my name is Ryan Gasca. I've been with Elliott 15 years. I recognize just about every face in here. Maybe you recognize mine. I too was able to bring my son and daughter here when they were small, and they were, raised at Elliott. So, yeah,
There's another Elliott
we've been doing this a long time. And then again, so like I was saying, when we first started with the MasterClass Series, Carson and I were brainstorming the topics that we were going to present on. It seems like there's always another class on weight loss. I didn't want to just come out tonight and patronize you all by saying the things that you've heard 100 times over. I really wanted to bring something different to the table, but also stay with the foundational things that I know work. And how do I know this? Well, I talk to customers just like all of you every single day, and myself as well. I've been as much as 60 pounds heavier as I am right now. And I've been as much as 20 pounds lighter as I am right now. So I know what it's like to be overweight and underweight. And I still, every single day, have to look at every food I'm eating and my lifestyle and weigh in on it. Is this going to serve me or not? Now, I'm not saying that we need to obsess about these types of things, and hopefully we can talk about the habits that we're going to develop over time. But my point being is, I'm not just some naturally gifted, genetically gifted, healthy guy that I'm going to tell you, well, look at me and just eat less. That's not going to serve you, okay? So what I'm trying to say is, we all are every single day trying to put in place, this diet and a lifestyle to boot that just supports that healthy weight, whether it's losing weight or gaining weight, because a lot of people can be on either side. So tonight, I really want to give you tools on how to do that. I do want to dive in on some specific diets that are very popular right now, and I will leave some time at the end for Q&A. So if you have questions, I ask that you hold on to them at the end, and we will address them individually at the end, okay? Sound cool? Great. Now, I want to first start off with just the basic of why healthy weight. And these are really kind of obvious, but they bear repeating. Look, I think in this day and age too, we have a culture that's saying we should embrace whatever body type we are, right? And it should be no shaming. And I agree with that. No shaming. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to feel good in that body, right? And there's nothing that feels as good as a healthy weight that allows you to be active and do the things that you love doing. And we know for a fact that excess weight does decrease lifespan. There's no doubt about it. So it is important that we prioritize that, okay? It is important. Again, we have this body. It's a gift for us to be able to do these things that we enjoy doing. And we got to take care of it. And eating healthy is part of that, all right? Now, and again, I already mentioned this part, a healthy weight definitely translates to a longer life. Now, I want to just touch through some fundamentals. The next panel is going to actually talk about specific diets and specific supplements, but I want to touch on the fundamentals because these fundamentals should always be in place anytime you're presented with new information, and you will be presented with new information. There's nothing hotter than the latest weight loss product or weight loss protocol, and it seems like it's always changing. I've been here 15 years and I've heard all of it. High fat, low fat, high protein, low protein, etc., etc. So there are some fundamentals that we should keep in mind. I know Carson talked a lot about some of those fundamentals. You're going to be definitely writing down some notes here, but I want to just go through first off, and some of these may be explain to you, I've heard just recently that calories don't count. That's just not true. Calories do count. It's the law of thermodynamics. If you eat too many calories, you will gain weight, and then vice versa. Now, some people say, well, I do cut my calories and I still don't lose weight. I'm sorry, you didn't cut enough. Because at the end of the day, if you don't burn more than you consumed, you won't lose weight. Period. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. So, calories do count, and I definitely recommend start tracking actually how many calories you eat. All right? Just to get a baseline so that you know what a 2,000 calorie day looks like. You know what a 1,500 calorie day looks like. This is really important information for yourself, so you know. You're not guessing. Again, build healthy habits. There's no shortcuts. I do see that there's some periods where you want to kind of jumpstart a new diet with maybe a 2-week or several month phase. I'm in support of that, but you've got to be, during that period of time, developing habits that you can carry on till your final days. Because if you lose the weight now, but you don't have the habits later on, you know what's going to happen. It's going to come back. So, put those habits in place, right? Blood sugar is key. Most of the diets that I've seen, there may not be an exception to this, work around the leverage point of the blood sugar, right? Managing blood sugar. We know that elevated levels of blood sugar correlate with weight gain. That's a fact. So, high carb, low carb, we're going to get into some of those nuts and bolts in a minute, but keep in mind, again, fundamentals here, you've got to be concerned with your blood sugar levels and thinking about managing those blood sugar levels. And I don't mean, yeah, I got to get my blood sugar up if it's crashing, so I'm going to grab, something sugary. That's not blood sugar management. You're setting yourself up for another crash in a few hours when you do that kind of stuff. So you want to keep those blood sugars low so that you stay in the fat burning phase. What's more is you reduce cravings when your blood sugar is low. It's that blood sugar going up and then crashing too low that causes those cravings to come on strong. So keeping blood sugar balanced is key. Now, develop healthy. Well, that wasn't right. Healthy relationships with food. Okay. I see oftentimes people battle about whether this food's good or this food's bad. If they eat a bad food, then they punish themselves. We got to get off that cycle. You know what? Whatever you did, it's in the past. You just got to move on. Again, I don't want this to come across like I'm patronizing you folks, but really, you should be punishing yourself by running 10 miles because you ate a pizza, or you should be then vice versa, running 10 miles so that you can eat the pizza. That just sets you up for failure. Get off of that cycle. There's no such thing as a bad food that you should feel guilty about. Just eat it, enjoy it, and then move on. Period. Stress and sleep are really key. We know, as many of you have already shared tonight, when you're stressed, gosh, the cravings go through the roof. And how good do you feel then whenever you give into those cravings? It's a stress reliever to give yourself those good foods. So, again, we talked about blood sugar, fundamentals here, making sure stress is in check, right? Exercise, downtime every single day, sleep. If you're not sleeping every single night, I'm not saying necessarily 8 hours for everybody every single night, but if you're not getting quality sleep every single night, it's going to be very challenging the next day to stay on a diet. And the last thing is get tested. I actually recommend for those that maybe have an estrogen dominant situation, possibly, test yourself. Find out for sure. This information is really powerful, so you're not guessing and trying this and it's not working and then trying that. Maybe you need to go get your blood sugar tested. Maybe you go need to get your hormones tested. Or, just maybe a simple body fat composition test, just to see where you are. And then after a few months, track that and see those improvements. I really believe in testing. For me, I love the data and watching those numbers go in the direction that I want to go. So test yourself. Don't guess. All right? Now, let's get into some specific diets. We get questions most currently about, well, all of these, but keto is really, really, really hot right now. Has anybody heard of keto? A few people? That's it? Everybody's heard of keto, right? Okay. It's the hottest thing. What is keto? Keto is a short name for ketogenic or ketosis or a ketogenic diet. It's this idea that you want to put yourself into a fat burning or ketosis state where your body is running on the stored fats in your body by converting them to ketone bodies in the body, okay? I'm not going to get into all the how does that happen, but essentially it's an almost no carb diet. It's less than 5% of calories come from carbs in the diet. Very, very low carb. And the idea is that in this state, of course, it would make sense that you're not feeding yourself carbs, that you would have a balance of blood sugar or very low blood sugar levels. That your body, again, since it's not burning sugars, it's burning ketones, that is then burning your stored fat, which is providing those ketone bodies. So it makes sense that this is a very popular fat burning diet. This makes a lot of sense, right? And you see people get really good results when they go on a ketogenic diet. People have friends, neighbors, right? Seen this? They're losing like 10 pounds in the first week, okay? Now, I'm not going to be here tonight telling you to not do a keto diet. What I will say is this. This diet is very difficult to maintain long term. We see this inevitably. You get that one weekend where you went to the birthday party and you went crazy with the pizza and the cake, and you magically gained literally 10 pounds in one day, right? How did this even happen? Well, there's a reason for that, and I'm not going to get into that tonight, but my point being is because this isn't a diet that you can just kind of go off of and on. Those results, that weight loss results, just don't really last that long, and it's hard to imagine that you will want to be on a ketogenic diet for the rest of your life, right? You would never eat bread again. You'll never eat fruit again. You'll never eat, some of the greatest tasting foods on the planet. So keep that in mind. This diet's not for the kind of, you can't just be a weekend ketogenic diet person or a weekday ketogenic diet and you can eat whatever you want on the weekends. This diet doesn't work that way. So know this. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it at all. Maybe give it a try just to kind of experiment. But it's a challenging one. And don't believe the hype that it's just going to magically be the cure for you. Because I haven't seen that. Paleo, kind of along the keto line. It's a very low carb diet. Tends to be a low carb diet because it eliminates two groups, dairy and grains. It tends to be much higher in protein and fat generally. I actually really like paleo because of the macros of this diet. It minimizes carbs, which, remember on my previous panel, we want to keep carbs somewhat low because blood sugar is key, right? And it really emphasizes protein and healthy fats. Healthy protein, healthy fats. But it's not the end-all, be-all. And I think there's a lot of great nutrition that can be found in dairy and in grains. Let's not eliminate these foods altogether because they're bad. Paleo's fun to experiment with, but may not be the end-all, be-all answer here. Vegan diets, again, they tend to be higher carbs, generally speaking, which make it very difficult to lower your blood sugar lower, and maintain a fat loss. And they tend to be kind of lower protein too. It's kind of a double-edged sword. So you got a little bit higher levels of carbs, a little bit lower levels of protein. They're not very satisfying. You're oftentimes very hungry soon after eating. It doesn't set you up for long-term success. It sounds really good because it sounds really healthy and light on the earth, and we should be eating animals. At the end of the day, as far as healthy weight goes, maybe not the best. Okay, maybe not the best. And then one that's really gaining a lot of traction lately is intermittent fasting. And who here has heard of intermittent fasting? Wow, everybody's hands go up. It's this idea of going 16 hours or more, maybe even up to 20 hours without eating. It's this idea of, say, stopping eating on, so today, maybe at 10 o'clock tonight, and then not eating again until 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, okay? And I mean no calories at all, nothing, okay? Tea, coffee, water, that's it. That's all you get. And there's a lot of health benefits to that fast. There's a lot of cleansing that your body does and hormone building. And actually, I talk about intermittent fasting in my previous class, Mastering Cleansing. But as far as fat loss goes, if you cut your calories too much, you can slow your metabolism down, and then it makes it really challenging over time to keep weight off. So again, as I'm going through a lot of these diets, it's fun to experiment. I definitely love intermittent fasting from time to time, but as a weight loss strategy long term, probably not the best. Probably not the best. So experiment with it, but we're going to jump into some diets that I think have a much longer range to them as far as diets go. You can still do intermittent fasting with any diet for that matter, but you're going to have to break that fast, and what kind of foods you break that fast with are going to be really important. We're going to talk about that. So, any popular diets that I did not talk about? Those are really the four that are top. 15? Oh, 15 minutes. Thank you so much. I was like, the 15 diet. I've heard the whole 30 diet. That's pretty good. Never heard the 15 diet. So, okay. Zone, blood type, South Beach. These have been around a long time. And I'm going to go into why these I get a lot of great feedback on. I actually eat really according to all three of these. I'll tell you how. And I think they give your body all the satisfaction you're really looking for from a diet. You're really not making a lot of sacrifices by following these diets, and you're able to enjoy a lot of foods that we all want to be able to enjoy from time to time, and keeping that in moderation. So the zone diet is it's based on the macros of that diet of 40% of calories coming from carbs, 30% of calories coming from fat, 30% of calories coming from protein. Does everybody understand what I mean when I say 40, 30, 30? Every gram of carb is 4 calories. Every gram of protein is 4 calories. Every gram of fat is 9 calories. So we want to get 30% of our total calories of the day. Let's say it's me and I need to eat 2,000 calories a day. I want to get 30% of that from fat. 30% of 2,000 is 600 calories. 600 calories divided by 9 is about 60 grams of fat. You see how I'm doing this? Okay. And onward, okay? So you can figure out macros. And why this ratio really works is this. Your body does need some carbs, I think. Yes, you can survive on a ketogenic diet, okay? But optimally speaking, your brain's going to function better. You're going to actually have really great endurance if you're active at all. You know, you want to go to the gym, you want to go for a run. It's very difficult to do that on a ketogenic diet. You're going to have carbs. You're going to have carbs in the system, tank to burn for those activities. You're going to be getting enough protein to keep your body balanced. Protein really balances blood sugar, okay? It's like a slow burning log. And fats both. Both fat and protein are really slow burning logs you really want to throw in the fire. They give you that endurance. And this meal is very, not meal, but this diet is very satisfying because of that balance. It doesn't, this zone diet doesn't restrict necessarily certain particular food groups in and of itself. So you can apply the zone principles to a blood type diet, to a South Beach diet, to really any diet for that matter. But that 40-30-30 split, for most people, they're going to have energy. They're going to be able to maintain blood sugar and reduce cravings. It's really a great sweet spot in those macronutrient ratios. Okay. Blood type. Carsan's a big fan of blood type diets. She saw that the inception of that, you know, almost I think 25 years ago when Dr. Diadama wrote the Eat for Your Type book. And when I started 15 years ago, it was really, really, really popular. People would come in and want supplements according to their blood type. I'd never even heard such a thing. Now, fast forward 15 years, it's not nearly as popular as it was, but those principles never really went away. And here's how it works. There's 4 blood types, right? A's, O's, B's, and AB's. Now, A's and O's, just those 2, right, account for about 90% of the population. And the remaining 10% is split between B's and AB's. So most people in this room are either A's and O's. To find out your blood type, it's a really simple thing. You can do it at home. You can buy a blood type testing kit, prick your finger, drop it on a little card, and it'll tell you in minutes what your blood type is. Or maybe you already know. It's this idea that certain types of foods are better for certain types of blood types. And some foods are not so good for certain types of blood types. I'm a type O, so red meat and green vegetables and starchy roots are the best for me. Grains and dairy, not so much, right? And each blood type has a certain mix of foods that really do well for them. And you probably even know. So like earlier when she said I crave cheese, and Carson said, you can't have cheese, too bad, you're type B. Well, you know, should you never eat cheese? Maybe not. Or maybe you can, I'm sorry, that didn't come out right, but you probably should be eating it every single day. That's really the key when it comes to blood type diets, is you should really emphasize the ones that are highly beneficial for you and minimize the types of foods that aren't highly beneficial, right? So find out your blood type. You don't have to buy the book. You can go online and find the highly beneficial foods and the avoid foods online for free. You can follow that. Lots of people have found great success with this diet because they're eating foods that are most satisfying for them, they're most easy to digest for them, and they fuel their body. So check out blood type diet. South Beach diet. A cardiologist about 15 years ago noticed that the Atkins diet was really, really popular, but this high fat, really high, and a diet that really didn't discriminate between high cholesterol and saturated fats or low saturated plant-based fats. Just eat lots of fat and protein and don't eat a lot of carbs. Really wasn't best for his heart patients, right? So he experimented on himself and then discovered through that process that low glycemic foods and lower carb foods, generally speaking, were the ideal mix for balancing blood sugar benefiting from the low carb weight loss, not keto, but low carb weight loss effect that his patients were experimenting with, without high cholesterol foods that may or may not be related to heart disease. I'm not going to take a slide on that. I think the jury may still be out, but at least doctors are worried about high cholesterol numbers, and so I can't, in good mind, tell you to go eat a bunch of high cholesterol foods. Don't listen to your doctor. Listen to me. Don't do that. Instead, eat lean proteins. Emphasize plant-based foods, plant-based fats, according to the South Beach principle, and low glycemic carbs, meaning not refined, not white, highly starchy carbs, or sugary carbs for that matter, low glycemic. And what do I mean by low carb, and how is that different than a keto diet? A low carb diet is in the range of about, I would say, 80 to 100 total carbs for the day, which is actually very doable for just about everybody. That still allows you to enjoy lots of your favorite foods. Where a keto diet, you can't even eat fruit. With the South Beach diet, you can still enjoy fruit. You can still enjoy whole grains like beans, brown rice, starchy roots like sweet potatoes, carrots. You still have all those things that you can't have on a keto diet. And they're really emphasizing the South Beach diet. The overall emphasis being low glycemic, so you're avoiding white bread, white pasta, highly refined, sugary products. South Beach emphasizes, again, like I said, lean protein, so you're still getting the emphasis on protein, which is great for blood sugar balancing, muscle building for that matter, and healthy fats. So those are really three diets that I just see work over and over and over again. And I encourage you to, from tonight's talk, to go home and grab one of those and just start experimenting with them on yourself. Now, I want to touch on a few different supplements because I believe that supplements can really help someone get back into balancing blood sugar very quickly. You may end up finding certain supplements you just want to take forever, but at least to get started with a weight loss approach or a healthy weight approach, some of these supplements I found to be very effective. Carnitine is an amino acid that mobilizes stored fatty acids into the cells to use for energy. And again, all these supplements have clinical trials backed up to show that they work, and also because I have customers that come in every single day and talking with what works for folks and what doesn't. It's not just some latest greatest weight loss pill. These are the things that I've seen work the best over time. So carnitine, again, I would say about 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of carnitine a day. Great to take before you work out. It's a great time to take it because it's going to trigger that fatty acid mobilization, and you're going to burn more fat when you work out. Garcinia. Now, Garcinia really became popular a few years ago when Dr. Oz talked about it, but it's hung on long after Dr. Oz. I know he's still on TV, but he doesn't have the popularity that he used to. But Garcinia still does. I think it's one of those supplements that just works for a lot of people. And how it works, it has this compound called HCA. And what does HCA do but actually prevent the formation of fat in storage in the body? It reduces an enzyme called citrate lyase, which reduces the body's ability to store fat. So you may be eating sugar and fat, and it could be excess calories you're not burning, and the body's trying to store that. Well, your body is not able to do that and is forced to burn it if there's not enough of the citrate lyase present. Garcinia reduces that enzyme, okay? It also increases a hormone called serotonin. When serotonin is low, That's when we're stressed. We reach for something sugary, our serotonin goes up and we feel good. Okay? This herb actually raises serotonin so that you're not on that stress roller coaster and reaching for foods when you're in a crisis. So, great supplement to take every single day. I will encourage you, buy something high quality in this. Buy something here. In this particular category, there's a lot of Garcinia on the web that have terrible reviews because they don't have the good Garcinia in it. You want to look for something that has 60% HCA. 60% HCA, which gives you a total, you want to look for this, giving you a total of 1,000 milligrams per day of HCA. So when you buy a Garcinia supplement, it needs to have 1,000 milligrams, give or take a little, of HCA per day. HCA stands for hydroxycitric acid. Okay. Those are my fat burning supplements. Okay. Now I got blood sugar.
Can I ask you a question
Yeah.
about that? Can you take both of those supplements daily?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Everything here is very, very safe. You can take everything I'm recommending. There's no stimulants here. There's nothing in here that's going to keep your heart racing or anything like that. Very, very, very safe. Everything I'm recommending tonight, very safe. Blood sugar balancing. Top herbs for that. Bitter melon. Bitter melon, like it sounds, is extremely bitter. And it's a weird thing the way your body works. When you taste something bitter, your body's ability to balance blood sugar goes up. It's a weird thing. Has somebody heard this before? You're kind of nodding or shaking your head like, this is crazy. It's a weird thing, but it's true. How it actually works, and I actually wrote this down because I didn't believe it either. I knew that people were taking this for blood sugar and raving about it. It decreases blood sugar and increases insulin sensitivity. All right, so when you consume a carb, your body then processes it, puts it in the bloodstream as blood sugar. Okay, but you don't want that blood sugar up very long. Your body knows this, so then it creates this hormone called insulin, which allows the cells to take that blood sugar out of the bloodstream, right? If your cells are not very sensitive to insulin, that blood sugar stays elevated for longer periods of time, and that's what causes the damage. When you go, I'm sorry? Inflammation, definitely. Thick blood, A1C levels go up. If nobody knows what that means, that's a marker for elevated blood sugar over time, and that's what's going to give you that pre-diabetic diagnosis. You don't want that. And this helps keep insulin sensitivity up so that you need less insulin and keep those blood sugar levels more balanced. Bitter melon. Gymnema sylvestra. This is a crazy herb because what it actually does, when you take it, it makes sugary things not taste good. This is crazy, but it's true. Gymnema it's called the sugar destroyer in Ayurvedic medicine. The sugar destroyer. You take it and you'll eat something sweet, it just won't taste that good. Not only that, it tonifies and strengthens the pancreas, which is the organ that produces insulin and regulates blood sugar levels. It really tonifies that, so those that have a weakened pancreas, maybe they're pre-diabetic, maybe they're even diabetics can take this. Definitely talk to your doctor first. It can strengthen that organ, tonifies it, and allows your body, the machinery of your body, better able to handle blood sugar levels and better keep them stable. Okay? Gymnema.
For both diabetics, type 1 and type 2?
Is Gymnema for both blood type, or for both types of diabetics, type 1 and type 2? Well, type 1 is a genetic, you're born with it. Type 2, you actually grow into it because of lifestyle. Jim, that is really going to be for the second. You know, if you're born with type 1, you're really never going to be able to get that machinery working again. So it was broken to begin with, right? Although I have had customers give me feedback, they're type 1 diabetics, and they find certain supplements can still help them. But type 2 diabetics are going to be much more of a fit for these supplements. Okay, last category, stress reducing. Holy basil is a great adaptogen. Adaptogenic herb, there's a lot of them. Ginseng, a lot of people refer to ginseng, that's a great adaptogen, probably the most famous one. Holy basil, an adaptogen, also has a side benefit of being a blood sugar balancing herb too. So it reduces stress, which is great. So you're reducing cravings related to stress, but you're also having the side benefit of blood sugar balancing as well. Holy basil is great for that. Great taken as a tea at bedtime. A lot of people that struggle maybe with staying asleep all night long have blood sugar problems because their blood sugar is crashing in the middle of the night and causing them to wake up. Take a little holy basil at night as a tea. Great time to take holy basil. Valerian is a powerful sedative. Valium, medication Valium, is derived from valerian. They do something to it though to make it medication. But the original source of that medication is the valerian root. Take it at bedtime. It's been shown to decrease the amount of time it takes to get to sleep and also improve the quality of that sleep. So while you sleep, you're getting into those deeper sleep zones and waking up a lot more refreshed. You gotta kind of play with valerian a little bit. Some people find it can make them groggy the next morning, or it makes them have some weird dreams. Just take a little less, but don't overlook it. And finally, and I know a lot of you have heard about CBD, great stress reliever. We sell a ton of it now because of its popularity. It's great for pain, but you know, for tonight's talk, we talk about reducing stress. I can't have this conversation without mentioning CBD. It's wildly popular for reducing stress and anxiety. Now, I'm going to make a final comment regarding everything I've kind of laid out tonight, and then I'm going to open it up for Q&A. My final comment is really this. Anytime you try any new thing, you need to give it a chance to work, okay? Well, how long? And this is, I use the Chinese medicine principle of 100 days. You need to try anything for at least 100 days. Give it 100 days to really see it all the way through to see if it's going to work for you. Okay? So maybe you saw something that I presented tonight and you're going to go home and you're going to research it and you're going to try it out. Give it 100 days. Do that for yourself to really see, okay? And then you can come back and tell me. Does that sound fair? Because I learn every single day from talking to people just like you. So, again, thank you tonight for being here. I appreciate all of you. I want to open it up now for Q&A. Any questions about what I talked about tonight? Yes?
The blood type diet, this is probably a dumb question, but the blood type diet, does being positive or negative?
Does being positive or negative affect the blood type diet? You're talking about being O positive or O negative. Not much. You can get about 90% of the results of the blood type diet without knowing if you're positive or negative. Dr. Diadamo has some specifics around that make certain foods maybe possibly a little bit more beneficial or maybe a little bit less beneficial if you're positive or negative, but you can enjoy a lot of benefits without knowing that part. Okay? Ashwagandha.
Is that as good as the holy basil for blood sugar and stress reducing?
Is ashwagandha as good as holy basil for blood sugar and stress reducing? No, it's not. Holy basil has a specific benefit of blood sugar balancing where ashwagandha doesn't really hold that. It's great at stress reducing, but tonight when I'm presenting on like the best things that you want to put into place if you're trying to get healthy weight, holy basil, if stress is a big part of that equation for you, do holy basil. Because it's going to be more specific to your goals. Because there's a lot of herbs actually that are great at reducing stress. And some of them have certain side benefits. So holy basil is better for healthy weight. You in the back?
I didn't bring anything to rank with or rank on. How do I get that list?
Okay, how do you get the list of what I talked about tonight? We'll actually have a document that I can email anybody who wants it, but I will ask though that you tell Savvy here that you want this emailed to you and give her your email address. You probably already did, but I want to make a note so that I email you and not everybody tonight, okay? Please.
The intermelon, what's the dosage?
Oh, dosage. What's the dosage on bitter melon? That actually is pretty high. 800 to 1,000 milligrams of bitter melon. Divided doses. So maybe 400 to 500 in the morning, 400 to 500 in the evening. Twice a day.
Is there a stomach problems with that?
Possibly, because it's a kind of a strong herb, and if you're not used to that, maybe start with half that for a few weeks.
That helps with citrus anyway, as far as canker sores and whatever.
That should be the case. Yeah, that should be the case for you with bitter melon. Maybe with Garcinia, because of the hydroxycitric acid in there. But start with a small amount and give it a few weeks to see if you're reacted to it. That's true for any herb. But and if you don't, proceed. Please.
Now, the reason I was smiling when you're doing stuff with us, I've been craving lemons like crazy. Should I put it on everything?
Yes.
Could that be because I need something?
She's craving lemons. Does she need bitter melon? Is it a sign of something? Well, I tend to think that all cravings are a sign of something. And, you know, some of them are a little strange for that matter, and I don't really know. But in this particular case, maybe. Probably not, actually. I think you're probably just craving lemons. You probably would benefit, though, from some bitter melon just to see. But probably not because you're craving lemons.
I was going to say just vitamin C possibly.
Maybe vitamin C, yeah.
Well, my salivary glands, and I think, and I know that they're good for that, but I don't know if that's why.
Maybe. There's a wisdom that the body has that I'm learning about every day. And yeah, cravings.
I want to smell them. That's terrible.
Question up here in the front?
What healthy weight is, when you were 20 off, yeah. Where did you find it?
How do you know what your healthy weight is? Gosh, good question. Because my healthy weight fluctuates even over my lifespan. What I thought was healthy, 10 years ago may not be healthy for me now. I think the BMI is a good starting point. Everybody know what the BMI body mass index is? It's a ratio between height and weight. that's a very good place to start. Now, if you have a lot of muscle, you're going to be heavier. That doesn't necessarily mean you're less healthy. So you might have a high BMI, but still be relatively low in fat, low body fat levels. And then age. I will say this. I think you're going to have to use a number of factors. I would start with BMI. I would start also with just your body fat percentage. 15 for a guy, maybe high teens for a gal. So low teens would be 12 to 15 for a guy, maybe 18 to 20 for a gal. Probably like some good ballparks. Some people just carry around a little more fat, and that's kind of their set point. Some people actually, honestly, look kind of sickly if they are too low in fat, even though their percentage is somewhat normal, right? I'm actually kind of like that. When my body fat gets kind of low, I don't look so good. I look kind of sickly. So, and I get sick more often. I feel lower energy. Yeah, I'm really lean, but I don't have any energy. So, I wish I could be more specific with that answer, but I think you use basically those two pieces, and then the third one being, how do you feel? Are you always hungry? Are you always getting sick? How's your mood? How's your sleep? If you're a lady, are you still cycling? You get too low in body weight, too lean as a woman, and you stop cycling. I don't think that's good. So, those three things, right? Any other questions, please? Oh, Carsan. Oh, hold on that. The woman that was here before me is Carsan Elliott. The woman who owns the store, the name on the outside of the store, Carsan Elliott.
As she was leaving, she said for me to stay away from those nuts,
Yep.
get off that big diet because I have way too much water. And I just had my body analysis done, and I have almost 95% water weight, and I had not drank more water that day. The handstand was actually done, I think, in the morning, so therefore I shouldn't have been dehydrated. So what would you say is like a normal percentage? Do you know?
A normal percentage of water weight.
Of water percentage. I know most of our body is water ourselves.
Right.
I just never had anyone tell me I had too much water.
Isn't it 75%?
75%.
Okay, so I get money at 95. Yeah. So can we just
So,
plug and
can we,
put it in water?
maybe the follow-up question to that would be like, how do I get that number down?
Right.
You're not drinking a bunch of water while I'm holding on to all of it.
Well, I mean, I think I drink enough water, so then yeah.
Right.
I have
So,
to.
there's, as Carsan mentioned, there's four body types: adrenal, gonadal, or ovary, thyroid, and liver. Adrenal types hold on to water. There's actually a hormone that the adrenals produce that actually regulate water levels. And if you have a deficiency in your adrenals, you can hold on to more water. So what's the solution to that? Tonify, strengthen those adrenals through stress reduction. Less stimulants, more sleep, less sugar, more protein, exercise. I know this is like, yeah, I know all this. But yeah, you work 6 days a week.
Yeah. And I sleep.
One thing you may not know, and don't change any of that. Continue to work out, continue to sleep. Maybe, interestingly, maybe even add more salt. Salt.
I've been told that I'm sodium deficient
Yes.
at one point in my life. I usually wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I had a Chinese doctor tell me that's a liver problem. I could have had levels of years on it. I don't think that's.
You're getting a lot of information, and I know you're pulled in lots of different directions. And then you hear, well, I'm an adrenal type, but my Chinese doctor doctor says I'm a liver type. Well, I would,
Well, I mean, that was what I was doing acupuncture.
yeah, I would maybe experiment with some herbal diuretics like parsley, uva ursi. Just go ask Savvy for a water pill. For a while, interestingly, counterintuitively, add some salt. High quality,
Yeah, I find the vitamins.
yep, high quality salt.
And make sure your electrolyte levels are good.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that people who drink too much water have a problem with their electrolytes, headaches and stuff.
Yeah, so play around some things. That's really my recommendation. Because your body's holding on to water. It's not about how much you're drinking, it's how much you're holding on to. So try those two things. Diuretic, herbal diuretic, and add more salt. And one second, we have a question back here.
No, I was saying that she is not to check her.
Okay.
That's,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just wondering where in this story you find the red gel.
Red kelp or dulse. We have it in our seaweed section. We have various types of seaweeds like kelp, kombu, and dulse. That's the great place. You can get it as a supplement. I don't really recommend it that way. I recommend just eating the actual dulse itself. Oh, it's in the corner that way. That way. Any other questions? You've all been awesome. I know some of you are like, wow, we've been here maybe, how long have we been here? It's been a long talk, but we made it through to the end. If you want the notes, let Savvy know, and she will star your name on the sign-in sheet with your email address, and I'll send those out directly. We have one more class in the MasterClass series, but every third Wednesday is a free health talk here at Elliott, okay? Thank you all for coming. Have a great night.
Thank you for all the information. Too much longer. I've got too much waiting. All over the place. Yeah.
Well, I think she would know. I think she was kind of maybe talking about some of these principles start when you're young. No. We actually, the reason why she mentioned this is because she encourages her staff, like Alexandra, she's pretty important. She's be raised here around. I think it's great. That was really the best. In the corner. Yeah. Thank you.
Right, no, I know, I agree.
We got it.
Get the notes. I have it. In fact, let me just quickly stop this thing.